In the hidden dawn of creation, long before mortal eyes beheld the world, a secret covenant was forged among the angels, a pact that would shape the fate of life itself. But what mysterious forces moved behind this ancient order? And what hidden cost would the guardians of life be forced to bear? Stay with us as we unveil a story of divine trust, celestial betrayal, and an eternal battle that still echoes through every breath of the living world. Don't forget to subscribe to Best of History and Mythology, leave a like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss new powerful stories that explore the deepest myths and forgotten histories. Long before time unfurled its endless march, before the mountains rose or the seas drew breath, the divine realm stirred with hidden purpose. From the unseen depths of God's will, two radiant beings were called forth, Uriel and Rafael, brothers in light, destined to walk paths unlike any other among the angelic hosts. Unlike the countless seraphim and cherubim who sang endless praises, Uriel and Rafael bore a deeper, secret burden. They were crafted not merely to worship, but to become the guardians of creation, entrusted with mysteries that even the highest thrones dared not question. The secrets of the divine realm were whispered into their very being, mysteries that would bind them forever to the fate of the living world. Uriel, the flame of God, was woven from the fires that danced before the eternal throne. His light was not just brilliance, it was authority, the power to command the heavens, the force that would ignite the seeds of existence. Every motion of his wings left trails of unseen energy, stirring the breath of life where none yet existed. Raphael, the healing of God, rose alongside him, his form a tapestry of vibrant greens and living waters. His hands carried the unseen blueprints of forests yet to be born, rivers yet to flow, creatures yet to draw breath. The origins of angels tied to creation were unknown even to the elder seraphim. Only the Most High knew the full measure of their task. Bound by divine command, the brothers worked in silent unity. Their touch did not create life directly. No, the miracle of life belonged to the Word alone. But they prepared the world, nurturing the elements, whispering strength into the stones, stirring the waters, weaving the winds. Their movements shaped the unseen fabric of the world, a hidden hand behind all beginnings. Yet even amid their holy labor, something remained concealed. The purpose behind their special role, the reason why only they, among the angelic hosts, were entrusted with the stewardship of creation, was never revealed to them. It lingered like a shadow behind the light, a secret known only to God. And in the stillness of their early labors, when the heavens shone without blemish and the earth awaited its awakening, an ancient tension, unspoken and unfelt, began to take root. A tension that would one day tear the heavens asunder. As Uriel and Rafael moved through the empty spaces of the forming world, their hands shaping the unseen patterns of earth, water, and sky, they sensed a new summons ripple through the divine realms. It was not a call of command, but a silent decree, a binding truth older than stars, older even than light itself. The summons brought them before a presence veiled in mystery. The Keeper of Seasons, a being unlike any angel they had known. Neither warrior nor messenger, the Keeper existed apart, an ancient custodian of the hidden laws of nature, invisible even to most of heaven's hosts. His form shifted like mist across unseen waters, his voice a chorus of winds moving through unseen forests. Without a word, the Keeper wove a vision before the brothers. Fields golden with harvest, trees shedding leaves in soft surrender, rivers receding only to surge anew. Life would not be a single eternal blossoming. It would be a sacred cycle of growth, decay, and rebirth. The Green Covenant was revealed, a pact binding the earth and all its creatures to the turning of seasons, to the rhythms inscribed by the Creator's own hand. Uriel, whose flame had no rival, watched the withering leaves fall and felt a flicker of unease. He had been born to ignite life, to nourish beginnings. The quiet death of the harvest seemed to him a betrayal of creation's glory. Rafael, guardian of healing, stood silent longer. He saw the suffering woven into the cycle, the wilting of flowers, the hunger of winter, but also something deeper. In each dying leaf, a promise. In each barren field, a hidden seed of renewal. The mystery was vast, yet his spirit whispered that this too was part of the divine order. If you were entrusted with the balance of life itself, would you defend the natural cycle at all costs, or would you try to change the destiny of creation to avoid all suffering? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The Keeper of Seasons extended his hand, not in command but in offering. Accept the Green Covenant and guard it faithfully, or reject it and remain forever apart from the fullness of creation's destiny. Without fully grasping the weight of their choice, the brothers bowed their heads. They sealed the covenant not with words, but with a silent bond etched into their very being. From that moment forward, the balance of life and death was placed into their stewardship. They would nurture not endless life, but life that understood its own fragility, life that honored the passage of time. Yet even as the Keeper withdrew into the folds of unseen reality, a question remained unanswered, lingering like a shadow across their souls. Why had they been chosen, and what unseen cost would their acceptance bring? In the silence that followed, the winds of the first autumn began to rise. In the stillness that followed the forging of the Green Covenant, a fracture, unseen and unspoken, began to spread across the heavenly order. Beneath the shining courts where the angelic hosts gathered, deeper than the rivers that nourished Eden, a darkness stirred, silent, patient, and ancient. Among the many who had witnessed the Covenant's birth, one had turned away. Uriel, once a trusted guardian of the sacred fields, harbored doubts too bitter to be confessed. He questioned the beauty of decay, recoiled at the thought of inevitable death, and in his silence, anger took root. He became known among the Watchers by a name spoken only in fearful whispers, the Withering One. No longer did he walk the gardens of heaven with joy. Instead, he withdrew into the unseen places, contemplating a world where the cycle of life could be broken, where he and he alone could rule over an eternal, unchanging creation. It was not open rebellion at first. The celestial rebellion began with subtler acts. Uriel drifted through the corners of creation, planting seeds of doubt among the lesser spirits, suggesting that the natural order was not a gift, but a cruel trick. His words, dripping with false wisdom, promised a different kind of eternity. A dominion where the fields would never wither, where the rivers would never dry, where the harvest would never die. At first, none noticed. The seasons turned as decreed. The earth breathed in rhythm with the heavens. But then came the signs, quiet, creeping, impossible to ignore. Forests that refused to shed their leaves, rivers that overflowed their banks until the land rotted, fruits that swelled with unnatural size only to sour from within. Uriel, watching from the heights, saw the disturbances with growing concern. Rafael felt the sickness in the roots and waters, a corruption that no healing hand could soothe. Yet when they sought the source, the heavens offered no answer. Only in the stillness of prayer did a name come whispered to them on winds unseen, Uriel. The truth was staggering, an angelic betrayal born not from hatred but from a twisted vision of love had begun to unravel the very laws that sustained creation. Uriel had broken away, not in open defiance, but by reshaping the heart of creation itself, rewriting it according to his own will. His corruption was not just of the earth, but of the very idea of life, a slow, insidious corruption of creation that would rot the world from within unless it was stopped. And so, beneath the bright stars and the silent gaze of the Eternal One, the first true conflict among the angels began, not with swords, but with the turning of roots, the darkening of waters, and the quiet rebellion of a world betrayed. The corruption seeded by Sariel did not remain hidden for long. As the seasons faltered and the earth shuddered under unseen weight, the divine realm stirred. The celestial war, long prophesied in secret circles of heaven, had begun not with the clash of swords, but with the slow poisoning of creation's breath. Uriel, armed with the flame that once only nurtured, now brandished it as a weapon. His fire, once pure light, was tempered into a sword of judgment. The battle of angels raged not in mortal skies, but in the unseen lattice that bound life together. Every tree, every river, every stone became a battlefield, each struggling under competing wills, the will to renew and the will to possess. Rafael, who had once walked silently through gardens in healing, now summoned tempests and floods to wash away the rot Sariel had unleashed. His healing touch became a force of protection, shielding the earth where it still remembered its covenant. The forests that still honored the green covenant rose up like armies of living towers, their roots grappling against the blackened growths that spread like silent plague. But Sariel, the fallen angel, wielded a terrifying power, the art of false life. He could make the barren fields bloom with unnatural harvests, lure the desperate with promises of endless bounty. His legions were not only corrupted angels, but also mortal hearts turned by ambition and fear, who unknowingly fueled his rising dominion. The war became a divine conflict that no mortal eye could see, yet every soul felt it. Crops failed without reason, storms battered the innocent and guilty alike, and seasons spun wildly out of control. Somewhere, hidden beyond mortal understanding, the cosmic struggle played out with each falling leaf and each fading star. Yet even as Uriel's fire burned and Raphael's waters surged, the balance did not tip. Sariel's corruption had rooted itself too deeply. It became clear that no battle fought with force alone could undo what had been whispered into the very bones of creation. Before we unveil the final mysteries hidden behind the Eternal Guardians, make sure you're subscribed to Best of History and Mythology. Leave a like if you're fascinated by these deep and powerful stories, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future journeys into history and myth. And so, in the heart of the storm, a choice began to form, a choice no angel had yet dared to speak aloud. Would the brothers cling to the old ways, or would they risk invoking powers forbidden even in the highest heavens? The war was not ending, it was merely evolving. When the storm of battle finally broke into silence, the heavens bore scars that no light could fully erase. The seasons, once perfect in their rhythm, staggered uncertainly, and the earth, though breathing anew, trembled with a memory of betrayal. In the hidden heights of the divine realm, Uriel and Rafael stood before the throne, their wings heavy with sorrow, their spirits worn from a war that had no true victors. Before them, the Keeper of Seasons revealed a truth neither had been prepared to face. The Green Covenant, though crafted in purity, was not invincible. It could be broken by free will, not by force. It was not Sariel's power alone that had wounded creation. It was the willing hearts of those who had turned away, seduced by promises of endless dominion. Thus, the divine decree was spoken. There must be watchers, unseen and unyielding, not to command the world, but to quietly sustain it. Guardians who would never rule, yet whose presence would be the last unseen thread holding the fabric of life together. Uriel and Rafael, bound by duty and love for what had nearly been lost, accepted their new roles without question. They became the eternal guardians of life, celestial watchers hidden from mortal sight, woven into the very elements of existence. Uriel's fire was no longer a weapon, but a shield of divine protection, sparking the first warmth of spring, guarding the cycle of rebirth. Raphael's healing flowed unseen through the rivers and forests, an invisible balm that mended the fractures of the earth season after season. Yet their greatest secret was never spoken aloud. Buried deep within the hidden covenant was a final safeguard. Should the corruption ever rise again, should the hearts of men once more betray the balance, the guardians would not act alone. A force greater than creation itself, sealed away beyond the reach of angels and men, would awaken. Do you believe that humanity today still honors the sacred balance of creation? Or have we already forgotten the lessons written in the foundations of life? Share your opinion in the comments. Your voice matters. The world walks still under their silent vigilance, unaware that every turning leaf, every falling rain, every budding flower carries the unseen touch of two brothers who once fought to save it, and who wait, unseen, should they be called upon once more. For the battle between growth and decay is never truly over. It merely sleeps beneath the earth, within the stars, and in the hearts of those who still remember the first covenant. In every falling leaf, in every breath of wind, the guardians continue to watch over us. Thank you for joining us. See you on our next journey through legend and time, always here on Best of History and Mythology.